Hey there, my name is Vanner Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So it is time for just an informal update. I skipped Monday, so I published one of my voice notes from my mates yesterday, and I think it was actually kind of special. This is one of the guys who shared the road with me when I was still back in South Africa, and we did a trip for the UN. It was called Ride On Speak Out, and we traveled through 6 African countries, if I remember correctly, Southern African countries with our Harley Davidsons. And the idea was really to go and speak out against violence perpetrated against women and children. The idea was to actually show men, other men, because it's about men speaking to men, because usually when you have violence against women, it's women speaking about violence and women fighting against violence. And we should really, in that aspect, change things, because men need to fight against it and men need to speak to other men. So that was kind of the idea behind the trip, and we were on the road for a long period of time. Strong bonds were forged, and we got to spend a lot of time with different communities, different people, to spread that message. Of course, as participants, as riders, we were 15 South Africans going on this trip. We grew closer as well. I mean, moment in time, I think it was closer to the end, I had an accident in Mozambique with my motorcycle, hit a massive pothole. It was really a bad road. I mean, funny enough, you would imagine South Africa would have bad roads. We had brilliant roads up until that point, and Mozambique is definitely a country that is still trying to rebuild after civil war. The road was really bad. I mean, there was overturned trucks and all kinds of stuff, and lack of concentration for a moment, and I ended up in a pothole. The bike was totaled, but I actually walked away unscathed for the most part. And then later on, a friend of mine actually shared his motorcycle. He sent his motorcycle up from South Africa, and I got to finish the trip with my mates. The 15 days, I think I spent one day on the back of another friend's motorcycle, and we were riding. So it was special to actually reach out to John and have him share something with me for this, because even though we had that adventure, we all stuck indoors during this weird pandemic thing. But isn't it also strange now that the pandemic is kind of been pushed to the background a little bit? I'm a bit scared because I think we're taking our eye off the ball. But then on the flip side, I do not think that the actions currently being taken with people hitting the streets, trying to raise awareness around this topic of Black Lives Matter, I don't think you can do that from a laptop screen or from your home. And I stand in solidarity with those folks. But I do fear for them, though. I fear that that silly little virus is jumping around there and hopefully not ending up at grandpa and grandma when they go back home. So time will tell, but things don't get changed when you sit at home and tweet about it, I guess. It's been an unsettling week for me. Professionally, it went well. A lot of work being done in a sense of, professional, and it seems like I'll be extending my retainer contract with my client for a little bit more work. So had a phone call earlier the week with a friend of mine who really got hit hard because of this pandemic. That being said, he found a way to start getting to his feet. I'm encouraged by that. He faced the adversity, found solutions, and things are starting to look up for him again. And I mean, the week was dark because of what was happening in the news, and perhaps I'm watching too much news. Perhaps I'm clouded a little bit by my South African background. This is nothing new for us. We know about the pain and the uncertainty and the fear and how people are scared to really see things from someone else's eyes. I am, however, very shocked and I know this is media, amplifying all kinds of messages, but I am shocked by the response of the law enforcement against a lot of these people. I don't know, like a lot of people say, yeah, you need to take care of business. But I think, a real leader and a real representative of law is someone who will always take the higher ground. And something that really touched me especially was a police officer shoving a 75-year-old man, and then that man tripping and then falling backwards. And for some reason, probably policy or whatever, I saw them actually stopping each other from helping him. And, these days, all these things are happening on video, which I'm grateful for because now we can see it. But I don't know. I've seen too much of it. And I know there's always two sides to a story. But I think there's a time that we need to stop fearing the police. The police are there to protect us. And it makes me also think about my time that I served in the military, because it makes me now think, and I peer over to my son sitting around the corner. Would I want him to be serving in the military where some pseudo-dictator forces him to go out and draw his weapon on citizens of my country, of a country? I don't want that. I don't think that's fair. And I wonder how many of the people who are on the streets have their sons actually serve in some of these institutions. Because, when I originally went to the army to serve, I was there to serve my people. I was there to serve my country. I wasn't there to turn on my people or my country. And that's a difficult one. And I think the same is true for police. Police is there to serve and protect. And I don't always know if they understand that sentence of serving and protecting. And once again, a gross generalization, because they are very beautiful human beings. I've had family serve in the police force, in a police force. And I have friends who were police officers themselves who I can see have tried their best to do what needs to get done. And it's by no means an easy job, ever. I don't think so. I think you see all kinds of different, the good and the worst in human beings. So, yeah, it's empathy is needed on both sides, I guess. What a crazy time. What a crazy time. And I don't want to, I don't know, maybe I'm making a mistake, but for the next few episodes, I'm keeping my focus on the pandemic, because that is the instruction or questions I'm asking my friends out there, is to really reflect on what they've learned. And perhaps I could also jump on the bandwagon to speak about this, and maybe I should. Hopefully I'm doing it now. But I think for now I will continue focusing on the pandemic, the sleeping dragon at the bottom of all this, because I don't want to lose focus on that. And I think that's touched a lot of us, and we're still going to feel the repercussions of that, along with what's of course happening in the streets right now. So it's two very, very important topics. So I think I'll end this episode here. Looking forward to publishing a few special notes coming up next week. And I can see that people are still listening. And if you're listening to this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the support, because that keeps me going. In the end, this is also a time capsule for my son one day that I want to give him, so that he can see or hear at least 1 year out of the life of these folks in this time. And perhaps it could be more. But for now, I'm just happy continuing. And if you're listening to this, I appreciate your ear. And hope you're keeping well. And as always, and every time I say it, I mean it. Thanks for listening.